All right, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'll be basically going over my weekly recap of trading this week. And I'll also be explaining my new feature and new update to the ConFluX Advanced version. Okay, so let's go to my Top Step X account. As you can see, this is indeed an eval account. And I'm actually up $2,400. And this is using Swift Algo X and ConFluX all on automation, okay? And I basically need $600 more in order to pass this eval. So as you can see, week number one, I ended green, still 231, not a lot obviously, but still green. Week number two was on fire with 1.7k ended green. And then this week, basically the first day was a loss. Second day made it up for that loss and ended more in profit, doubled the loss and profit. So I ended the week in green, over $500. So all 3 weeks has been green so far. And this is just using Swift Algo X and ConFluX all on automation. Okay. And as you can see, I also have a fund account too, which is nice. I requested for a payout of $250 yesterday. It got to my bank account today. And I also traded on my live account on NinjaTrader. As you can see, I'm up over $32,000 in balance. I basically took out $5,000 this week from trading. So it's been a really fantastic week for me. So hopefully I can continue this momentum next week. And the only thing I'm using as of right now is the Swift Algo X indicator. The link will be in my description. And then I'm also using the ConFluX Advanced version. The link will also be in my description. Please check out my other YouTube videos on my channel. I go over how to actually trade automation, how to set up automation, as well as the best settings to use for Swift Algo X, and also how to connect ConFluX to Swift Algo X and how to optimize this basically for trading futures, forex, indices, or whatever you need. And this is the only thing I'm actually using, okay? So let me go over the new feature I used called the break-even feature, okay? So this would be unchecked by default. You would need to actually check this if you want to use this feature. Then it says move stop loss to break even at. You have 4 options: 25%, 50%, 75, or 100. Let's just use 50% as the default example. Break even trigger distance is at 50. You can change this to whatever you want. But I'm using the default as an example. So when you take obviously 50%, multiply that by 50, obviously that's 25. Meaning it has to move 25 points in order for the break even to trigger. So let's say if price enters at 100 points, okay? If it moves 25 points in your direction, so it moves 100, so it's now at 125. If price reverses, it's going to stop you out at 100. So which means you broke even. You did not end it in profit, but you did not take a loss either. Okay, that's how you do it. Whatever, so you basically multiply this by this number, and that's how many points it has to move in order for the break even to trigger. Break even offset, this is 0 by default. If you move this into a 1, you're going to end in profit. So when you change this to a 0, which means so if the entry price is at 100 points, it moves 125 and then it stops you out basically at 100 points. So meaning you basically broke even. But when you change this to a 1, it's not going to stop you out at 100 points. It's going to stop you out at 101 points. Okay, so you're going to have 1 point in profit. If you change this to a 5, it's going to stop you out at 105 points. So meaning you will not break even, you will actually be in profit of 5 points. So that's basically how you would use this feature, okay? So let's see. And you just have to basically experiment with this. Okay, so I actually had to change the ticker from MNQ to NQ just to give a better example of this, okay? So I did actually uncheck on bar close. I found it to work better with the break even feature. And I did change this to 25%. I did kept this as default. And then break even offset, I did change this to 1 and obviously check this box. And as you can see, the first trade was a winner. And then guess what happened? Second trade and third trade was actually both losers. But I actually broke even, which means without that break even feature, I would have got a loss for the night. But because of the break even feature, it basically broke even on these two trades. So I basically ended the night in profit. But you have to also take note that sometimes it may go into profit like halfway, and it may go down and may actually stop you out, but it doesn't actually hit stop loss. It may go back down, then go back up, hitting your take profit. So there may be some trades in which you did broke even, but you missed the winning trade, because even though it went back down, it actually went back up, hitting take profit, which means you missed out on that trade because you broke even. I have seen a couple of trades like that, and then obviously trades like this in which it did actually hit take profit. I mean, not take profit, stop loss, but because of this break even feature, I avoided these two losses. So I did saw both ways. So just a recap, these two trades was losers, obviously, but because it went up, it went back down, both hit stop loss. But as you can see, I broke even, so I avoided these two losses. This is really good for risk management, but just take note, sometimes it may go up, then go back down, hitting your break even stop loss, but it may actually reverse up, hitting TP, which means you missed out on a winning trade. So I saw both scenarios. Always test this first on a demo account first, just to actually see and just to experiment with different settings. But that feature is added for for people who want more of a risk management, especially if you're automating at night while you're asleep and you don't want to wake up to losing trades. So if you go to strategy report, as you can see, I want all 6 trades with a P&L of 2.6K with a max drawdown 455. So if you do actually, let's say I uncheck, disable the break even feature, as you can see, my max drawdown was 1.1K with 4 out of 6 losses. 4 out of 6 trades, with 2 of them being these 2 losses, okay? So with this break-even feature enabled, as you can see, my max drawdown decreased significantly down to 455 instead of 1.1K. And then I ended up winning all 6 trades, being at 100%. So always test this for starting a demo account first before actually applying it to an eval account or a funded account. And you probably just want to experiment with different settings, but at least you know what to do on how to calculate these now. So hopefully you guys will actually experiment and give us some good tips on what to use. I also want to actually mention something also. So I've been actually noticing a specific setting I use with the Swift Algo X and ConFluX. So with this setting is I'm basically using Obviously, I'm always trading on the 1 minute time frame with indicator sensitivity 5 minutes, but I've been using the algorithm multiplied as 7 and then algorithm paired as 3. Risk to reward ratio is 1, max stop loss size percentage 0.2. Obviously enable that. EMA 300 and obviously calculate bar 0, 5,000 doesn't really matter. But I've been using 7 and 3 just to experiment. Even though the current sitting shows at 59.26%, if you do go to strategy report over a long-term period of time, it does actually seem like it's really profitable. Because if you go back like 7 days, I don't think 7 days was actually that profitable though. Let's see what the report actually shows. Give it a couple seconds to load. So I was just lost $28, which is not really a big deal. If you go to list of trades, as you can see, I got 2 losers, 1 winner, but down $28, which is fine. But if you go back like last 30 days, for example, I give a few seconds to load there. It takes a while for it to load. There we go. As you can see, 1.9K with $600 drawdown, 60% win rate, 1.8 profit factor. I've been actually monitoring 7 and 3 for like a month, and it's been actually consistently profitable compared to the other sittings that I've been seeing. But I do change the settings once per day, usually before the Asia session starts. But this week, I think I only changed it, I think 1 to 2 times this week. But other than that, I've been having a good week for the last couple of weeks. So other than that, I do post weekly videos every week. So if you do find this video helpful, just smash a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next week's video.